I just want to go ahead and take this time to point out I'm no fan of Madison Cawthorn, and I'm actually pretty okay that he lost his seat. But like, I hate the fact that I gotta agree with this dude because, like, to put this in perspective, before he even got elected, right? He was already like he was taking women out on these crazy rides and trying to put his hands up their up their dresses. You know what I mean? He was super excited about visiting Hitler's house. Take away everything that Hitler has done, and I know that's like impossible to do. It's still kind of a boring historic visit. I don't think I could be excited about visiting anybody else's house that wouldn't let me explore the confines of the refrigerator on a much more intricate and on a much better level. Like, in other words, if I'm in somebody's house and I can't go in their fridge and they just say, "Yeah, man, go ahead, check it out, get whatever you need," then I'm going to feel weird being in that house. You know what I mean? But this dude went over there to Hitler's house, no less, and was like, got a chance to go to the Führer's house. Yee! Like, why would you do that? And this is before he got elected. When he did get elected, you find out that he was doing some insider trading. This dude, like, insider trading, I don't, like, the more I learn about investing and money markets and all the other crap, the more complicated it is to me. I still have no clue what insider trading is, but I do know that a lot of people that are in power have had history with doing it, which is weird to me, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Martha Stewart got arrested for insider trading, right? But this dude did some insider trading and was still in Congress. You know what I mean? And what's even crazier is, like, completely off subject, the dude who runs the Federal Reserve, which is technically the place that apparently handles America's money or whatever, that dude, Jerome Powell, did insider trading. He did insider trading, and he's in charge of our money. So either insider trading isn't that bad, or is only bad when you're not like in some sort of seat of power, which I just find weird. But that's not even the thing I want. Like this, like I said, insider trading, sexual assault. Dude, like, he was pushing the big lies. So it's like, like basically telling people, yo, y'all need to get ready. Y'all gotta get your guns ready for Civil War II. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all this stuff. The Republicans was like, business as usual, no problem. But then he went on that podcast and said, bruh, one time I got invited to an orgy by some other Republicans. And one of them did a line of coke right in front of me. And apparently that's when the alarms went off, like, hold up the phone. Did he just say that? Look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, okay? If anybody has ever said Emmanuel has I don't know, bet on chicken fights in Mexico, and I beat that dude to a coma, then you could basically all but just accept the fact that Manny bets on chickens in Mexico. You see what I'm saying? Like, there was even times during, like, then you end up getting like all of these, like, the Republicans basically all but just got together and said, yo, we need to take this dude out. This dude gotta go. And it trips me out because, like, that's the line. That's the line, dog. And the thing is that, like, once again, now I have to believe that he's right. But the weirdest thing about, like, now I did the math, okay? Like, I did the math, I did the research. They're in Congress, in the Republican side, right? Because I doubt that if the Republicans was like doing drugs and having sex with each other, they're not going to invite Democrats along because they're not really that bipartisan. But I did the research on this stuff, man. In the Senate, there's only in the House of Representatives, there's 33 women in the GOP, in the Republican side. In the Senate, is only 8, and they're all old. Now, that's 41 women in Congress in the Republican side. In contrast to that, in the men, for Republican men, 220. On average, I can't, the math just ain't mathing. Like, if you, like, at some point, if that means that if you put all the men, all the federal GOP people together in one big sex group thing, some dudes is going to be, you know, which is even weirder because you got to take into consideration that they're homophobic. So it's like, it's like, you know, all of a sudden all that angst and all that anger and all that, you know, all that waiting is going to get to them, and they're going to be like, suddenly Chuck Grassley is looking kind of, I don't even want to think, oh my God, I don't even want to think about Chuck Grassley. That dude is like 100 years old. Something is going to be dragging along the way. I don't know, man. And you know, like, Matt Gaetz ain't going to even be there because everybody's too old, you know. Marjorie Taylor Greene ain't going to be there either because everybody's too fat. You know, she got her own gym to go cheat on her husband with. Lauren Boebert is going to probably get, like, hunted down by, like, the oldest people there. Like, I mean, what's Paul Gosar going to be doing? What's Paul like, I think what's even funnier about all of this is that, like, if I'm not mistaken, Tim Scott is, like, the only black Republican in, like, in the Senate, or if not the House or something like that. He's like he's going to be a fish out of water, man. Ain't nobody going to even want to touch him. He's going to just be sitting there, he's just going to be standing there all naked like, well, what do I do? You know, at least until Lindsey Graham comes up and be like, I like me some chocolate, you know? Yeah, that's right. I'm putting the images in your head because I needed the joke and y'all needed the laugh too. But still, though, the fact that, but what trips me out, though, is that, like, now that they got here, like, because, like, now they're basically making it seem like they got rid of him. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that's sort of stressing me out about this. The one thing I don't like about the Madison Cawthorn thing is that the news is trying to make it seem like the Republicans kind of got Madison Cawthorn, like, unvoted for or whatever. When in reality, it could have just easily been that the voters saw what kind of person Madison Cawthorn was and just said, you know what? We don't want that guy to have a second term. You know, kind of like how America did with Trump in general. We just, everybody was since saw Donald Trump, saw what kind of person he was, and was like, no. Well, if that's the case, then how come they kept Bush? Which I don't know. When Bush was president, I was in middle school or high school, one of them. But when Bush was president, I was still, like, in school. I don't even think I could vote then. So I don't know. Maybe people were just dumber back then. Or maybe the Electoral College is corrupt. Boom. Let's go ahead and get that started out the way real quick. The Electoral College needs to go away. The Electoral College needs to go away. It needs to. And the big reason why is because of the fact that it favors the Republicans. Every single time the Electoral College has gotten involved with a Republican losing the popular vote, it's always been a Republican. You could even argue that JFK won with the Electoral College vote, but even then, if that's legit, it's still one. It's still like one Democrat to 5 Republicans, bro. 5. Look, I'm gonna see if I can try to name them offhand, like Trump, Bush. Oh man, I'm losing it. I think it's I want to say Harrison. I want to say McKinley Harrison. I'm going to have to look into that later. But the fact of the matter is that every single time the Electoral College has gotten involved, it's favored a Republican. And it's been recorded in history. And what makes it even worse is that the Electoral College is just a racist concept anyway. So it's like, why do we even have that? Why is there such a backlash to the idea of one person equaling one vote? It doesn't make any sense. Like, in any other context, like, if you were voting, like, if you in a group of friends, were like voting on anything else, right? There wouldn't even be a discussion about this. It would just be most votes win. It wouldn't be, oh yeah, by the way, well, we just happen to have somebody else who just happens to, speak for you guys, the majority who won the vote, and he's going to tell us what you guys voted for. It's like, but we can tell you what we voted for. It doesn't make any sense, man. The electoral college needs to go because now we know that it's easily corrupted. This whole January 6th thing has basically made it very clear and made it very obvious how easily malleable and how easily manipulated it could be. With everything that you are now learning about what's going on with what Donald Trump has done. You know what I'm saying? You can easily, you could just like piece the pieces together. Donald Trump was going to bring in some people, right? He was going to bring in some people to go in and like basically like stuff the electoral ballots in his name because he knew that he wasn't going to win the popular vote. He was going to get some people to fake the votes, electoral votes, so he can win again. And just be and like, they're going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, what about these electoral ballots that you may have forgotten? And all Mike Pence had to do was just say, yeah, I don't think he lost the election. The one moment where Mike Pence actually grew a pair. We don't have to worry about this dude anymore. And all this could have been avoided if we just get rid of the electoral college. It just makes no sense how the only thing that stopped it was, sadly enough, Mike Pence. And Stacey Abrams. Let's not forget Stacey Abrams. Which, by the way, Stacey Abrams saved America. Georgia, please thank her properly by making her governor. Well, let's go ahead and I'm talking too much. I'm ranting, but I'm just saying it's just wild to me just how, just imagine for a second. Imagine all the GOP people just together in just one big ball of old, sweaty, wet, weird sex. It's creepy. I know. All right. Next up, the market is stupid. The market is stupid. Oh wow, something bad is happening. Something bad is happening in Wall Street. Let's go ahead and increase the price of toothpaste by like $10. For what? For what? Why is it that in America the red button has always been, always will be, make everything more expensive for poor people? Oh wow, Wall Street is losing money, so now everybody else has to start spending more money to make sure that Wall Street stays in shape. Wall Street ain't doing anything for us. Wall Street ain't the economy to me. What do I care if Wall Street loses money? But it's stock. Stock is nothing. I learned recently that Wall Street is connected to slavery. I can't worship this crap. I'm black. It's just aggravating to me, man. Now, and then there's baby formula shortage. Come on, fam. There's baby formula shortage because rich people was like, yeah, we want to have a shortage on baby formula. That's basically what it is. Rich people ruin this country playing games with their money. I call Wall Street just old people gambling at this point, because if there's a possibility of you losing money, is there a possibility of you putting money into something and a possibility of you losing money with that thing? It's gambling to me. It's all gambling. So it's like if you put money into something and there's a chance of it like just staying where it is or going up, hey, that's great. But if it has a chance of staying where it is or going down, you gambling. And that's all it is. Just old rich people just gambling with their money and trying to tell you that this is a smarter thing to do. I'm sorry, but I'm not about to put my whole life savings into, the possibility of me becoming a millionaire in my brain because a business said, here you go. Shoot, it's like, what I don't understand is if that's how you got to buy stocks and stuff like that, then why is it that every purchase at a store of the actual product doesn't qualify as some sort of, something, what's going on here? Like, all we do is get taxed, like there's no perks to buying a thing other than the thing. Somebody's going to have to talk to me about investments one day because I'm still not getting it. Shoot, because I've been putting money into savings accounts and investments accounts and all this other stuff for like a couple years, and all I got back was like maybe $20 at the end of the year. To heck with that. American politics is weird, man. It's almost like just basically rich people just say, let's purposely make everything overcomplicated just so poor people don't get what we get. It's like the gates just keep getting higher. But now, black people, now we're starting to get tiny axes. So the wooden gates are about to get chopped down. The meek shall inherit the earth. Love and peace, y'all. Be safe.